So today we are going to discuss mute, mute చేసుకో sound తగ్గించు. Everybody there?
Yes, sir.
So today I'm going to discuss while loop. So how the while loop will work? Before you perform any operation, you are checking a condition in while loop. You got my point? Whereas in for loop, you initialize the variable. But initialization will be done before while loop. That is my first step. Before while loop. Right? That is my step one. Step two is checking the condition. Checking the condition. Based on that, are we going to enter into the while loop or not? Third one is you will perform your statement. Perform your statement. Okay, so how to do that? What is your initialization? What is your initialization? Int I is equal to 0. Y I less than equal to 10.
I greater
Right?
than equal to we are given.
So less than equal to 10. In this, are you going to print your statement? Right? Print your statement. Third one is increment your I. Increment your I value. This is the only statement you need to write. Okay. So how you are going to perform while loop? Whereas in for loop, everything will happen here. I got my point. For loop, everything will happen here. Whereas in while loop, you will make increment here. You will check the condition. You will print your statement. You will increment your value. I got my point. So that is the reason we are going for while loop. Okay, let's open your program. Just cut this. Here, I'm declaring a variable int underscore counter equal to 0. Okay. This is my initialization, where while underscore counter less than equal to 10. Here I'm going to make a statement. What is my statement? This statement. Okay, I'm copying this, I'm printing. Okay, so I'm saying welcome to version 18. Okay, here my variable is counter.toString. Now what I need to do? I need to increment my counter. Okay, so how I'm going to increment counter? Counter is equal to counter plus 1. If you run it, you see 10 values will be printed. I'm running the program, 10 values will be printed. Now see here. Welcome to version. Welcome to version. Welcome to version. 10
11
times
times it is printing. It's printing 11 times. Also.
because you are making your statement is equal to, right?
Okay.
If you are not making the statement,
Yeah.
it will print 10 times.
Okay.
Now see, that is the
Yes,
difference.
sir. Okay.
I got my point. So since you are
Yes, sir.
using an equal, it will print 10 times. Now I need to work with do while statement. The next statement is do while. Do while. So the same thing will happen in do while. I'll show you the program and then we can write the code. Okay, I'm cutting this, creating a region. Okay, now I declared a variable. Now what I'm going to do, do is my keyword under which I'm saying I'm just printing that value. I'm just printing the value. Okay, and then while I less than, counter less than 10. Okay, this is how you have to print. Sir, what is the difference between while and do while? Why? In which scenario we need to go for while? In which scenario we need to go for do while? Anyone can answer me? Absolutely right. At any cost, you need to execute only one time. Are you got me? For performing a program. When you are performing a program can execute for at least you can go for do. So what I'm saying, do and then check the condition. Are you got my point, everybody? Online guys?
Yes, sir.
Venkatesh, Chaitanya.
Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir, sir.
See, you perform this particular operation and then you are checking the condition. That is why we are going for do while. Rest all same. Whereas now look into the differentiation. To perform operation at least one time. To perform operation at least one time without checking a condition. To perform operation at least one without. Whereas in
Sir?
while loop, we need to check condition before performing the operation. We need to check the condition. We need to check the condition before perform the operation. That is why we are going for while loop. So for loop equivalent to same. Make sense? For loop and while loop is equivalent to
Sir?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
In between, we are losing your voice, sir. We are not able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm standing and talking.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Okay. So try to be in office here tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
See, always you perform for loop, while loop, which is similar. I got my point. What in for loop and while loop will do? You initialize, you check the condition, increment or decrement, which all the three operations are happening in for loop. The same can happen in while loop also. Same can happen in do while also. But if you took for loop, while loop, do while, for loop and while loop always be the same. Only the do while will be different. What is that different? At any cost, I need to perform one operation. Without having a do, I cannot go for a condition. Are you got my point? So tomorrow, people will ask me to perform an operation to execute at least one. Are you got my point? So that time, which looping statement will you take? Do it. Are you got my point? So you have to think. This is where the logically how you have to think. Based on the requirement, do I need to use while loop or do I need to use for loop? Do I need to use do while? Are you got my point? These are all the basic programming. People who learn C, they may not aware of C, they can learn these basic concepts in C. Are you got my point? So this is how while loop, for loop, do while loop has been clear. Everybody clear? Can I go for the next topic today?
Yes, sir.
Because I have another half an hour.
Yeah.
Hey Amit, how are you? Long back. The major topic
Sir,
today I am going to talk is, yeah, please.
okay.
Tell me.
Sir, your voice is not clear actually. So what is the problem?
No, my
I
voice
mean,
is
earlier
coming
it
correct.
was fine, but yesterday also there are lots of we are not. Sometimes you are able to clearly listen your voice. Sometimes we are not able to listen.
It's a
Is it a
problem with
network
the
issue?
network. It's a problem with
Network
the
is
network.
okay.
Yeah, not from
Okay.
my end.
Okay. Today also the same thing. Like we can sometimes your voice is very clear, and sometimes you are not able to you are very
No,
away from
I'm
microphone or
standing and
something.
explaining, right? So that is the problem. If I sit and explain, there are offline people also there, right? So I need to say,
Okay.
set up something.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So today I'm going to talk about continue break statement. Break statement, I said. Continue statement and all nowhere work in the program. Nowhere you will use the continue. But they are bringing that concept, which is no use. Mostly nowhere we will use the continue. Okay, always you check the condition and you have to perform. Okay, so that is why I'm skipping. I will explain when we are implementing the real-time programs. There are a lot of programs we are going to write, right? There I will explain. Today I'm going to talk about object-oriented programming. Today is our first class of object-oriented. Okay, let me take a new notepad so that it will be useful. Save, new. Object-oriented. Object-oriented programming. Okay. What is class? Before talk about object-oriented class, I can give you a small example. See, class is a resource. To attend .NET class, what is your minimal requirement in an institute? Anyone can answer me. When you are attending a class, .NET class, what is your minimal requirement? Guys, unmute and talk. This is more important topic. Guys, Amit, Venkat, Chaitanya, can you tell me if you want to attend a .NET class, what is your common attribute or how are you going to attend the class in .NET? Guys, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Like
Can you
particularly,
tell
we're
me?
not able to answer it.
Come again?
Particularly, we're not getting like how we express that. So
You express the way whatever you have. Okay, I'm not worried about it. I just want to understand on what basis you are thinking.
generally take a registration, and then with that enrollment, we actually start our sessions.
Okay. What are all the common things for any class?
Students and instructor, and
Student is mandatory.
yes,
Faculty is mandatory.
yeah,
Classroom is mandatory.
yes,
Meeting ID is mandatory.
yeah,
So these are all the common for any course. Am I right or wrong?
yes,
If you
yeah,
take a course, the very simple example, if you take a course, what all the things are mandatory? Students. Second one is faculty. Without a faculty student, where is class? Classroom. Third one is classroom. Fourth one is meeting ID. People who can log in online. This is called a class in technical. In technical, I'm telling steady class. Okay, this is called steady class. Sir, few students want to learn Java. Few students want to learn Java. Few students want to learn .NET. Few students want to learn Python. So what you will do? Every student should access this or not. Without these 4 parameters, no class will be conducted. Can I say class is nothing but a common attribute? Am I right or wrong? See, this is my class mark. Okay. Now, what I'm planning to do is, I have a Java class, I have a .NET class. I have a Python class. Okay. All three classes will require these four parameters. All three classes will require these four parameters. Without these four parameters, will I go and attend a Java class? Will I go and attend a .NET class? Will I go and attend a Python class? Or you got my point? So, can I say all these classes are can I say Java class is an object of study class? Got my point? Java class is an object of study class. .NET class is an object of study class. Right? Python class is an object of study class. You go to Python, you go to .NET programming, you go to Java programming. What is class is same. What is object is same. This is one example. I'm talking about only real time. I'm not talking about anything related to technical right now. Let's give another example too. I want to buy a car. Example 2. You need to buy a car. You need to buy a car. Now tell me what are all the common functions which are available in any car? Guys, online, please talk. What are all the common functionalities or common attributes which are available in a car? First
So
one
we will
is
be having a model.
engine. Model and all come to secondary. Common. If you take a car without an engine, will it work? Any car?
Battery.
Without an accelerator, will your car will run?
No, sir.
ABC in a car. No, sir.
Without a brake, will your car run?
It will run, but it will cause problems.
Fuel also, sir.
For an accident. It will
Yes,
become
sir.
an accident.
Fuel, sir.
Without a seat, will you sit in the car?
No, sir.
Without tire, will car will rotate? Can I say Hyundai? Hyundai is an object of class car.
Yes, sir.
Shift is an object of class car. Will you all agree?
Yes, sir.
I'm creating a class car. Now you understand what is class technically? Object-oriented programming derived from your day-to-day activity. Object-oriented programming is derived based on your day-to-day life. If you go through end by end to end in the future, you will understand that much easily the object-oriented. Most of the people think that OOPS is very tough. In my career, OOPS is one of the easiest concept in technology. Why? Because you should compare your day-to-day life with your object-oriented. Now you understand what is class. Very simply, you will understand what is a class. Am I right, Amit? Venkat? Chaitanya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir.
Very
Yes, sir,
simply,
sir.
you guys are understand what is class, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now coming back to technically, technology, C# class. What a class contain? A class father is my class, which contain number one, variables. You know what is variable? You know what is variable, right? Because we are already learned what is variable. What is variable? Why do we need a variable? Why do we need a variable, ma? It is used to hold the value based on the data type. Am I right or wrong? You want to come to .NET class. Will you go and sit in the Java class?
No, sir.
The memory
Not at
which you
all.
created or the class which has been allocated this class, classroom 1. So Naveed Narendra should have access only classroom 1 because there is a .NET class. Or you got my point? So variable is nothing but holding a memory address which has been specified for a particular data type. That is called variable. Second one is methods. What is method? We already discussed last week. What is a method? What is a method? I am not satisfied. I'm not happy. Chaitanya,
Sir, uh, method is a piece of code, sir.
method is a set of instructions or set of code which will perform n number of times whenever we need it. Or you got my point? So method has
Yes, sir.
4 types. What are all those?
Access.
Chaitanya,
Sir.
method has 4 types. What are all those?
Sir, you
I mean-
mean about the instance method, sir?
No, normal method I'm talking. I given 4 types of methods. What is that? Did you go through the classes? Method with the parameter and return type. Method with the parameter and without return type. Method without parameter and return type. Method without parameter and without return type. That's are all 4 types. Okay. So you need to go through that properly and understand. The third one is I have properties. I will explain what is properties in later point of time. Don't worry about it right now. The fourth one is constructor. Fifth one is destructor. Right? Destructor. These are all the 5 information any class may contain. These are all 5 information any class may contain. Are you got my point? So let's create a small program. Close solution. Create new project. Console project. Next. Sample underscore class underscore program. I'm going to create sample class program. Class underscore program. Right? Now, next, create. There, I go to my solution, delete. Right? Now I'm trying to create a program class. I'm trying to create a program class. Okay. In this program class, public void, public static void, right? Public static void main, right? I build the program, it will work. Now I'm trying to go and create a one more class. For that, right click, add new item, click on class, say my class name is father. My class name is father. See, in a same namespace, I had two different classes. Am I right? Everybody clear? Under a same namespace, I created a two classes, class 1 and class 2. In this class, I'm going to have a method saying that public. No. I'm going to give private integer add int x comma into y. I created a method. So what is this method type? Everyone can tell me. What is this method type?
Integer.
No. Method was, what is this method type? There are 4 types of method. What is that type?
It's a parameterized
Method with parameter
parameters. Yeah.
return type. So under the class, I created a simple add method which has 2 parameter and returning the result. Now, where I need to call this method? Before I need to call this particular method, I need to create a memory for the class. I need to create a memory for the class. So how to create a memory for the class? In the program.cs file, I will go and say, first step 1, declare a father class. Declare a father class. How to declare a father class? How to declare a father class?
Public class.
Come on, what is declaration?
Public class. Public.
How are you declaring a variable? Similar way, you have to declare your father class. How are you declaring your integer variable? Int underscore first value is equal to 0. Similar fashion, father class underscore father is equal to null. Or you got my point? Why I am using null here? Because father is an object. Father is an object. It is holding the memory location. That is why I'm using father. Now, this is just a declaration. What is my step 2? Step 2, create an instance of class. How to create an instance of class? Underscore father is equal to new of father. I'll tell you what is the purpose of new, what is the purpose of father in late subsequent. So To declare any variable, you have to use like this. You will see a message. You will see this many messages. What is that message? I will tell you. But you see, the private member father.add is unused. Unnecessary of value to father. Unnecessary assignment of value to father. Everything they will give, which is not required. Converting literal into non-nullable type. Okay. Null literal are possible, null to non-nullable type. That is fine. So builder succeeded. It's all warnings. Okay. Now try to access the method which are available in the father class. What is the method we have in the class? What is your method we have in the class? Add method. So you need to access that particular method outside the class. I have two classes, father class, program class, where I'm calling my father class containing method in the program class. So both are two different classes, right? Have you got my point? If you look into here, the father class is one class, my program class is another class, where I'm trying to create an object of father class and trying to access father dot. You see, I'm not getting a method. Why? Why I'm not getting a method? No, I'm calling an add method. I need an add method. Why the method is not coming here? It was being declared as private. When you make a method as private in particular class, when you make a method private in particular class, it will access or it will execute only within the class. It should not access outside the class. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? Make it as public. Now come back here. If you say, now see, there is an add method. As simple as that. Now you understand what is private and public. Earlier also we discussed private and public, but we never get proper answer. So now here I'm using add, I'm passing this value. Right? So what this method will return you? 3 is your answer. So you need to hold the value console dot right line off. Now run the program. You see the value 3 I got. Right? So this is called class and object. This is called class and object. Now coming back to the notes. What is my first one? To create a class, we need to use class as a keyword. That is my first step. Right? Second thing is class may contain variables. Class may contain variables, methods, properties. What is my next step? Constructor, and destructor. Right? Class may contain constructor, variables, method, property, constructor, and destructor. So what is your third point? Whenever, when we declare a class, when we create a class, All variables and methods are by default private. All methods and variables, etc. are by default. Let us check. See, why I'm saying by default, if I'm going to the father class, I'm removing. What will happen when I build it? It's failed. What it is saying? Father.add method. Father.add method is inaccessible due to protection level. It means that if you're not declaring a access specifier for a method, by default, it is private access specifier. It is all one of the interview question. They'll simply ask, in a class, I have a method, but I've never used an access specifier. Will that particular method will be accessed outside the class or not? What is your answer? You will simply say, no, you cannot access because by default, those are private in nature. Or you got my point? So you have to explicitly. So what is your fourth point? We need to explicitly specify the, we need to explicitly specify the access specifier. We need to explicitly specify the access specifier. We need to specify the explicitly the access specifier. Or you got my point? Access specifier by making public in nature. Public in nature. Or you got my point? So these are all the 4 points is more enough. Now, fifth point, to create object of a class father. To create object of a class father, step 1 is we need to declare a father class, right? Without declaring a father class, will you be able to hold the object? Without declaring a father class, will you be able to hold the object? No. Second point is 5.2. Father class. Why do we need to create an instance of a father class? To access all members in a class. All members in a class. Third point is, while creating an object, a memory will be created. The memory location will be allocated in the RAM. Right? Why you are going to create object for a class? Because I'm going to access methods, variables, properties, constructors inside the class. Sir, I have one more question. I have a class father, but I want to create 3 different objects. Is it possible? Why? Because the class is common to all the objects. So my fourth point is, I can create n number of objects for a class. N number of objects for a class. Right? Is all the objects are equal? No. So those objects are execute independently. Right? So if you go to the program, I'm trying to create a one more object. I'm copying this. I'm putting a one more object as father1. Okay. I'm copying this. I'm putting another object as father1. Now in console.add, you see here, when you build it, here I'm giving 10, 20. You will get one is 3, another one is 30. Because these two variables are independent. These two variables are my underscore father and my underscore father will be holding two different memory. You got my point? So that is why those are independent. You see here. You see 330. Got it? అర్థమైందా? కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయిందా? అర్థమైందా? See, let me reiterate one more second. To create a class, we are using a class called class keyword for a father. And then we are simply write a method. What is this method is all about? A method has parameter and return type. Method has parameter and return type. Or you got my point? So I have a father class which has parameter and parameter and return type. Now in the program.cs class, I declared a father class. I instantiated the father class. I called the father class. Right? Similar way, I created a one more class father instance and then I used it. I will talk about these two tomorrow. Both are two independent class. Why we are using a program class? Main method is there. To run the program, how you will run the program? No. When you create an executable, what is the main point of the program? Main method. Without a main method, if I write any logic, will it work? So everything you need to write within the main method. Got it? If you don't have a main method, you cannot able to create and understand this program. Right? Anybody have any questions? Wait, I never get into that. Why you are hurrying? Already there is a constructor in this program.cs. Don't worry, just only talk about step 1, step 2. I will come back and I clearly communicated new of father. I will talk about later. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about constructor. And I will talk about new keyword. What is the purpose of new keyword? See, if you right click, go to implementation, it is coming to the father class. Got it? It is referring the father class. Anybody have any questions? Online guys, if not, we can wind off.
No, sir.
You all clear with class? You all clear with object? Amit?
Yes, sir.
Amit, are you clear with the class and object?
Yes, sir.
Amit? Venkatesh?
Sir, yes, sir.
Say year after, if you miss any class, you will lose OOPS concept.
Okay.
Year after, if you miss any single class, you are the loser, I am not the loser. For the next 15 days, you should be regular. This is more important topic which I am covering right now. Got it? Thank you all. Have a great day.
Sir,
Yeah,
no class on 9 to 10, sir?
no class. Why?
Okay, sir. I'm just asking, sir.
No class in 9 to 10.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Because we are waiting for a few more couple of people to join. Once they join, I will
Okay, sir.
clap. Okay.
Okay, sir.